thing.
I ain't taking nothing but win.
What's up, everybody? Money Ian here, back with another edition of the Unscripted Sports Show. Back here for the 2020, 25, 26, however you want to call it, college football playoff semifinals. Picks and best bets. There's only 2 games left, semifinals. 2 winners will meet in the national championship in a week and a half, about a week. What's today? About 11 days. 11 days from now, it's the national championship in Miami, Florida. Semifinals are between Miami and Ole Miss tonight. As I record this, be up before the game. And tomorrow will be a battle of 2 Big Ten teams, Oregon and Indiana, original OG Pac-12 team versus an OG Big Ten team, now their conference foes. And this is the rematch of a game earlier this season where Indiana went to Eugene and then beat them. So Oregon's trying to get revenge. It's hard. Remember, it's hard to beat a team twice in one season, especially a good team. So to recap, last week, the best game was Ole Miss and Georgia, and Miami and Ohio State. There were 2 best games. Ohio State lost. The defending champs lost to Miami, and Miami controlled that game. Ohio State looked like they tried to make a comeback, but Miami was too much at the end. Ohio State made some mistakes. They couldn't get their running game going, just like Alabama. Both very surprising that Alabama and Ohio State couldn't get their running game going this season. Especially Ohio State, because Ohio State was number one team all season until they lost to Indiana in the Big Ten championship game. So it's surprising that their running game was so bad this year. Alabama's was really bad, and both have history of great running backs. So it's very, very surprising that both teams couldn't run the ball this year. And both of them are eliminated. Both of them lost in the quarterfinals. Miami really, if you look at it, they really dominated that game from start to finish. Ohio State didn't have a chance. They had their moments in there where they could have came back and took the lead, but Miami was too much at the end. As I said, they won by 10, I believe, 24-14. 24-14. Let me check that. I believe it was 24-14. I forgot. 24-14. Where is it? Miami. Yeah, 24-14. 10-point win. I have to give credit to the U. The U, are they back officially? I wouldn't say officially until they win the national championship. Are they close to being back? Yeah. And are they the best team in Florida? Does it pay me to say that as a Gators fan? Yes. I hate Miami. I hate the U. I hate, because I'm a Gators fan. I don't like Michael Irvin. Never did. Never will. Ray Lewis, same thing. I respect both guys because they both played hard in the NFL. They both had great careers. I respect their careers. But I don't like either guy as a person. But that's not here or there. I like that. I didn't like them. I mean, Ray Lewis I respected as a ball player because he was a baller. He was a dog in the trenches. He was a great NFL linebacker. I respect that. I respect his game. I respect what he did for the Ravens. I respect what he did for the NFL as a player. As a person, not so much, but it's not here or there. Same thing with Michael Irvin. Respect his career. Great career as a Cowboy. I hate the Cowboys. I always hated the U. So the fact that Michael Irvin played for Miami and the Cowboys just makes me not like him at all. Ray Lewis, no, yeah, Ray Lewis. Um, I kind of liked him as a player, but as because I know he was a great player. He was a great player, not denying that, but I just don't like him. But whatever. Um, I respect I respect both of them as players. Um, so I'm sure they're both going to be on the sidelines tonight. So it should be fun to see whether they're going to be celebrating or they're going to cry. And then the other two games, Oregon, Texas Tech. I didn't get to see this game, but Texas Tech couldn't get anything going. They got shut out by Oregon, 23-0. 23-0. Oregon ran up the score because they were up 16-0. They got a last second touchdown in the last possession to make it 23-0. I guess you want to say they dominated the game. They pretty much dominated the game because Texas Tech couldn't get anything going. They need a better quarterback. Their defense is elite, but their offense sucked. Even though Texas Tech was one of the best offenses in the country all season, their offense didn't show up on last Saturday against Oregon. Oregon's just that good in the defense. I'll give Oregon credit. They're a great defense. If you can shut out one of the best offenses in the country all season, you're an elite defense, and I think Oregon's an elite defense. And we'll see what happens tomorrow against Indiana and Alabama against Indiana. What I was just to say, Rose Bowl, Indiana dominated from start to finish. Alabama didn't have a chance. I didn't see this one game. I saw some. I didn't really watch this game because it was already over by the time I got home, and the scoreboard was well in hand, so it was not much to watch. Indiana dominated. Alabama overrated. I've been saying all year. I didn't think they should have been in the playoffs. Even though I picked Alabama because I thought it was Alabama versus the world. I thought they were in that mindset, but nope. Alabama didn't show up. They were outmatched on both sides of the ball, and that's surprising because Alabama usually usually does that on both sides of the ball. Outman their teams or their opponents. So, but Indiana dominating on both sides of the ball. It's a little surprising, but not surprising because Indiana was top 3 team all season. Number 1 team in the country right now, best team in the country. We'll see what happens. As I said, we'll see what happens in Oregon. Indiana keeps proving me wrong. I had my doubts because they were being overhyped. Maybe this is the game where they lose because they are due for a loss. Their last loss was to Notre Dame last year in the playoffs. So I'm not saying Indiana's not good. They're good enough to win the Natty. They're good enough to win the national championship. I believed it last week too, but I just thought Alabama. I thought everybody was going to be in Indiana. I said the overhype of Indiana was going to get them, and the month off was going to get them. But maybe this is the game where they get bit. But snake bit because they're playing a team that already played. So, and we already seen rematches play out. Alabama beat Oklahoma. Georgia beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. Alabama beat Oklahoma in the rematch, in that one. Ole Miss beat Tulane, so Ole Miss beat Tulane twice, so that's the only one. Ole Miss beat Georgia in the rematch, and now we're seeing Indiana versus Oregon in the rematch. So we'll see what happens. Should be a great game. A lot of people are saying tomorrow is the real natty. I don't know about that. I think Miami and Ole Miss are getting somewhat disrespected, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them that disrespected them last week because I thought Ohio State and Georgia were going to win. I thought we were going to see Ohio State versus Georgia tonight. I'll be honest. I really thought we were going to see Ohio State versus Georgia in tonight. And after Miami won, I thought we were going to see Carson Beck versus the whole team. But Ole Miss put a stop to that. Georgia. Now let's talk about the Georgia game. This was a great game, back and forth. Ole Miss wouldn't go away. Georgia wouldn't go away. Georgia took the lead. No, Georgia tied the game, and then Ole Miss went downfield. It looked like Georgia was going to stop them and possibly send it to overtime, but Ole Miss made a great play, get in field goal range, and then got the game-winning field goal. And then Georgia had a chance, small chance. They took the kick return, and the kick returner returned instead of kneeling it for a touchback, where they could have had a chance because they still had. I think they still had their 3 timeouts left, so they could have gotten into field goal range. They had 2 long throws and timeout, and then maybe 1 long throw and a timeout. It would have took a miracle. Would have took maybe a penalty, but the refs were trying to help Georgia win. And there was like 2 questionable calls where they called on Ole Miss and where Georgia got into field goal range. It should have got a touchdown. But they didn't. Georgia didn't play like Georgia, to be honest. They played with their food most of the game, and Ole Miss didn't go away. I thought Georgia was going to manhandle them. I thought they were going to dominate, but Georgia, give credit where credit's due. Ole Miss came to play, and maybe this new coach is good. That's 2-0. He beat Kirby Smart in the playoffs. That's hard to do. Georgia is 0-2 in this new format, and 0-2 after they're 0-2 after a bye in this new format. So maybe Georgia won't win this SEC next year. Maybe they'll try to not get to the SEC championship game and then try not to get a bye because they're 0-2 right now. And the teams with a bye are 1-7. 1-7. The only team that's won after a bye is Indiana. Indiana is the only one that has won after the bye week. The other 7 teams haven't, and 2 of them, and two of those losses are Georgia. So 2 of the 7 losses are Georgia. So the 6 teams have not won after a bye. Georgia, Oregon, Boise State, Arizona State, Texas Tech, and Ohio State. Yep. Those are the 7 teams, 6 teams that haven't got. 7 teams that haven't gotten. No, there's been 1-7 for the bye team, but 2 of those 7 losses are Georgia, so only 6 teams. So, with that said, let's get to the picks. I don't have anything this week. I'm just gonna. So Georgia, Ole Miss versus Miami tonight. It should be a good game. Carson Beck trying to win another natty. I think he's won 3. I mean, he's won 2. He won 2 Georgia. He's trying to win 3. I don't think any quarterback won 3. Let's see. I'm just making sure. He won 2 of Georgia. Yep, he's a 2-time national champion. He won 2021 as a freshman, 2022, and now he's just redshirt senior. For 2021, 22, 23, 24. So when was he? When did he go? 2020, he was a freshman. But then I think he redshirted. And then he transferred. Yeah, so he's a 6-year senior. He played his freshman year, 2021, which is he had to redshirt one of those years. Because senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. I think he redshirted his first year. He only played 1 game. No, he didn't play. Yeah, he redshirted his first 2020 with redshirt freshman in 2021. 2022, he's a sophomore, junior, senior. Okay. He's a 6-year senior, so there must have 2020 was the COVID year. Or sorry, I can't say that word on YouTube. I don't think. He redshirted 2020 because of 19 or COVID-19. And then 2021 he played 4 games. 2022 he played 7. But he won the national championship 2021-22 where he didn't even play that much. Hold on. Who was the quarterback? I think he was the backup in 2021. I forgot now. Oh yeah, Stanton Bennett. That's right. He's won 2 national championships as a backup. This would be his first as a starter. Yeah. He hasn't won a national championship as a starter, sorry. He's won 2 national championships as part of Georgia's team as the backup. Then he took over as Georgia's starting quarterback in 2023. Right? 2023, he became the full-time starter, went 13-1, and lost in the playoffs. So yeah. And then he last year and then this year. So he's 36-5 as a starter. 36-5 as a starter, Carson Beck is. And then you got the Ole Miss quarterback, Trinidad. I forgot his last name, but he's a star. We'll see him. It's going to be his second career playoff game. So we'll see. This should be a good game. The best bet for this game I like is, let me see. The best bet, now it's at 3.5. I like the first half under. I like the first half under at 27.5. which is probably not right. But whatever. Let me check another book. I like the first half under 25.5. It's on score bet. I think. Let me see DK. I feel like there should be a 26. But anyway, I like the under, whatever, 25, 26, 27, whatever. I like the under in the first half of this game. And then I like I like Miami's team total for the game. Hold on. I like Old Miss under team total for this game and under for the first half. So under 24.5 for Old Miss team total and under 25.5 for the first half for this game for the Old Miss and Miami game. Now to the Indiana Oregon game. Now this is the game that everybody's waiting for. Is going to be waiting for tomorrow night. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a good game. Maybe not so much high scoring, but it's going to be two teams that know each other well because they played each other. By the way, I'm picking Miami to win 24-10. So obviously I like the under in that. Oregon, Indiana. I'm picking Oregon to win. I think there's going to be one upset, one dog to win or at least cover. I like Oregon to at least cover. So I'll take the plus 3.5 as my best bet in that game. And then I take Oregon first half money line. Those are my two best bets for that game. First half money line and the full game spread at plus 3.5. This is going to be a grinding out physical game between two teams that know each other, Oregon and Indiana. Two quarterbacks that could be really 1 and 2 in the draft. Not 1 and 2, but top two quarterbacks in the draft this year. They both come out. I think they're both coming out. And Fernando, Heisman Trophy winner, and Moore. They both come out. Those are going to be the top two quarterbacks in the draft. Moore is considered the number one quarterback in this draft. So we'll see if Moore comes out because the New York Jets have the number one pick. So who knows if he wants to come out? He could make more money staying one more year at Oregon than going to the Jets. So going to the Jets or staying at Oregon and trying to win maybe another 90 if they win this year. Or if they don't win this year, maybe trying to get redemption and win that year. So it's a decision that he's going to make. Hopefully not after tomorrow, but I like Oregon to win. I like Oregon versus Miami in national championship 11 days from now. So it's my two best bets. First half money line for Oregon first half money line, and Oregon plus 3.5. Those are my two best bets for that game. Again, my best bet for Miami and Ole Miss is the under first half 25.5. Then for under 25.5 in the first half for this game, or Ole Miss and Miami, and then under 24.5 for the team total for Ole Miss. Yeah, that's about it. Oregon has a great defense. Indiana has a great defense. So it might not be high scoring. I like Indiana. I like Oregon to win outright, but I prefer the best bet to be plus 3.5. So I like Oregon to win 27-24. I like Miami to win 24-10. And that should wrap it up. And remember to listen to to watch us tomorrow night on Wrestling 3 Years as we do AEW Top 10 Successors. That should be fun on Wrestling 3 Years channel. Subscribe to the Unscripted podcasts on Spotify by clicking on the QR code to subscribe on Spotify right there. But I'm trying to point to the QR code. So if you see me doing that, it's like that. I'm not doing anybody off. So, but with that said, Money E. Oh, and I did an NFL playoff preview, wild card weekend preview with my brother and Cliff. So check that out. It was live on Wrestling 3 Years, but then I had to delete that. I transferred it to Unscripted Sports Podcast because I accidentally put it live on the Wrestling 3 Years. So it's not under live; it's under video. So if you're looking for it live, not there. It's under the videos. It was live, but because I did it on Wrestling 3 Years, and then did it late on. I did it late on the wrestling on the put it late on the Unscripted Sports Show. So there's only 17 minutes of it. It's only half the show is on live for the show. Half of the show is live. I don't think I deleted that. No, I deleted that. So the show is on. It's under videos, not live, because I messed that up. So, but check that out. Check the NFL show out, and I'll be back maybe Monday. No, maybe Tuesday to recap. Tuesday or Wednesday, probably Wednesday to preview divisional round and talk national championship possibly. I'll probably do that next Friday. But for Money E, have a good night, everybody. Later.